I think just because of the fact that Terry is hyper-aggressive, it will combat the fact that Toon Link likes to camp. So, let's see what happens. All right. So far, pretty even, you know. I feel like Crack Shoot is going to be pretty useful in this matchup, specifically the input version, just because the fact, I recall it does have invulnerability, so it can help get past those projectiles. I know it's really annoying for, well, it's kind of annoying for Lucas to deal with, but like PK fires a multi-hit, and it somehow disrupts it. But, hello, Pancake Man, I'm assuming. I'm assuming that's the Pancake Man. All right, Spoof now has Go. And one thing that she like really likes to do, we don't see this yet, but if she ever ends up on ledge, like Buster Wolf off of ledge. Okay, we didn't see it. We didn't see it, but it is a thing. It is a thing she likes to do, at least against me, because it like goes to PK fire. But anyways, so what I said about, okay, we just saw it. Okay, so Mirror's Go meter is a thing unique to Terry. I think it's King of Fighters reference where Terry comes from, but it doesn't matter. So when Terry reaches 100%, he gets access to 2 new moves, and they're both input moves. One is called Buster Wolf, and it's what you just saw. It's where like Terry basically goes across like half the stage really quickly, and it does like 30 or 40%, and it can kill at like 70%. And remember, like it goes across the entire stage, so even if you like hit it from center, it'll push the opponent all the way to the edge, and so it can kill very easily. And then the other thing that Terry gets is called Power Geyser, and it's essentially like a very big move that hits like diagonally at like a 45. It's a bit steeper than a 45-degree angle, but you'll probably end up seeing it. But long story short, TLDR, Go meter is essentially a comeback mechanic unique to Terry. And you can combo into Power Geyser off of up tilt, or I think even spot dodge attack. And you can combo into Buster Wolf from like down tilt, jab sometimes if the opponent's in the air, and a couple other things. But anyways, it doesn't really matter because SpaceMiner is just finding these stocks really easily. Like I said, SpaceMiner it's just, you know, it's really difficult to live for a long time against him. And, you know, one of the things that I feel like really makes or break whether a player is going to win against Terry is how efficient they are at killing Terry, you know, below 100%, or at least when Terry gets past 100%, how quickly can they manage to get a stock? Because one thing I neglected to mention is that Go moves have super armor. So Buster Wolf, it has super armor, and so does Power Geyser. And so it can be very easy to get hit by one of these moves. The only, like, I guess, good balancing thing that they did with these moves is they're both very laggy. But obviously, like, imagine, you know, it's basically like you're fighting a character that has, like, instant full charge smash attacks. So, but yeah. Also, Buster Wolf does not go through shield, even though it looks like it does. Okay, now we're on Town and City. Now, normally I would say this is a stage I would never want to take Terry to. But first of all, like the rule set, you know, it's hard to not have at least one good stage for a character. But also, I feel like SpaceMiner likes this stage. It's big. It's also good for Toon Link. And so, yeah. But one thing that I do think we might see come into play is the fact that because of Town and City, it has those platforms. Obviously not right now. But those platforms do allow Terry to recover high a lot easier. And Terry kind of almost never really wants to recover low, especially against Toon Link because it's super duper easy to two-frame. And yeah, Spoof takes the first stock, but I would still say this is kind of fairly even just because of the fact SpaceMiner really doesn't struggle to take these kills. Okay. Well, I guess that doesn't happen, but it almost did. But then again, Terry, not hard in particular to rack on damage, especially when you have Buster Wolf. So right there, Mirrors, that was a Go move. And that's why it's really scary to fight Terry past 100%. And I know it's called Go a comeback mechanic, but like truthfully speaking, if you have the lead, it's honestly a, I guess, lead furthering mechanic. So yeah. And it looks like we're just playing Fairy Simulator, which is, you know, honestly, I like to do that too. The sound effect is nice. But yeah, now Spoof, like, we're seeing that Spoof is just using this top platform, you know, which makes it really easy for her to get out of the corner. So, you know, that's part of the reason why the stage is so good for Terry. Also, the side blast zones are kind of closer, or at least the stage is wider and closer to the side blast zones, which makes moves like Burning Knuckle kill earlier. So, yeah. Right now, we're honestly seeing a reverse of the usual SpaceMiner pattern. SpaceMiner usually wins the first... Sorry, SpaceMiner usually loses the first game, then wins the next one. But we're seeing Spoof, great adaptation, and the stage is definitely helping as well. If I were SpaceMiner, I would think, okay, I definitely don't want to take Spoof back to Town and City if I do have the option to. And yeah, like, honestly, it's just so scary to be at ledge against... Like, that's just dead. I was just kidding. I feel like Burning Knuckle would have comboed there, but maybe not. But under normal conditions, that would have been dead, guys. Trust me. And honestly, the thing I said about SpaceMiner, like, you really want to kill him early or else he's going to win. Or you want to kill him in time. I do not think that this really applies to Terry nearly as much, because Terry kill power is just so good, and Terry can really rack up a lot of damage, you know? And you do have Go Meter, so actually it's like, even if you aren't able to get that kill, you have more access to moves that can get kills, but this is probably dead here. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, so far, Spoof struggling just a little bit to get a kill. Ooh, that was really nice. All right, that was nice. So I could tell that SpaceMiner was definitely scared there, which obviously it's scary. But I think one thing that they probably could have done is an up the out of shield against that jab. Terry's jab is really, really laggy. That's kind of, I guess, the downside about it. She is goated, but I hate fighting her. So I just don't really like Terry in general. But even if it's a good matchup for both my characters. Speaking of matchup, I saw somebody in chat say that they think that this matchup is not great for Terry. But I kind of disagree. I think it's pretty even-ish because it's just super easy, especially if you have platforms. It's really easy to get in on Toon Link, I feel, as Terry. Like, you know, just so many burst options, so many different ways to approach. Toon Link's out of shield is not like the best. Like, yes, there's up B, but that's kind of slow. Like, I think it might be like frame 8 or slower. Honestly, I can't remember exactly. Let me just go check real quick. Yeah, I am kind of surprised. SpaceMiner taking Spoof back to... Oh, it's frame 6 actually. My bad. But yeah, SpaceMiner taking Spoof back to Town and City. I just feel like it benefits Terry like a lot more than it really does Toon Link. Although one thing I did kind of forget to really consider is, you know, Terry's ledge trapping is pretty good and it's very scary. And those platforms in this formation and the other formation where there's platforms can help kind of get yourself out of the corner against Terry. But yeah, let's see who's going to take the first stock. And it's SpaceMiner. So, you know what, maybe SpaceMiner's like, okay, and honestly, it really doesn't matter what happens, because I just will play better the next game, which is something that SpaceMiner does tend to do. And that's not going to kill. That's definitely one of the only bad things I would say about this stage with Terry, is the upper blast zone is higher. And I can almost guarantee you that up special would have, that rising tackle would have killed on like small battlefields. But it doesn't matter. So Spoof only having a 45% deficit, which is honestly not that bad when you're Terry, because you really only need one interaction to do 55%. And I mean, that's 40-40 right there. Let's see if we're gonna see more. Nice bait from SpaceMiner, trying to get Spoof to do a grounded approach and then jumping so that Spoof flips and SpaceMiner can get a punish. And we actually just saw that again right there, although that was kind of a bit unlucky that Spoof's down tilt didn't connect there. Still, it doesn't really matter because now we have access to go. And that was Power Geyser, or Power Geyser, whatever you want to call it. It's probably the worst of the two go moves, but it's still pretty good in my opinion. Regardless of what tournaments say, because they don't know what they're talking about. That's not... That is dead. Oh, I guess with Rage plus Go, that's definitely killing. Although Go doesn't increase knockback. Yeah, SpaceMiner now in a deficit again. If SpaceMiner does lose this game, which I'm not going to count SpaceMiner out, he's really good at making comebacks, but if he does lose this game, I definitely would reconsider stage choice. That's such a shame that last hit didn't connect, but it doesn't matter. Spoof, unfortunately, making the wrong decision at ledge, and it's going to cost her her second stock. So it's now pretty even. And it seems like SpaceMiner is just kind of camping a lot more, and that makes a lot of sense. You really don't want to engage with Terry. Because again, like, it really, you know, SpaceMiner was just like at 10% a couple seconds ago. So it's really easy for Spoof to rack up this damage. And Spoof's advantage state is also very good, so... Yeah. Good job holding that shield, though. I definitely thought SpaceMiner was going to get punished for that. Alright. I feel like this stage layout is probably like the best for Toon Link. I could be wrong, but... Okay, so right there, SpaceMiner definitely wanted to get a ledge trump. And one thing that Toon Link mains can do is they can press their Zair, like they can run off, press their Zair, and they instant snap to ledge. And it's a lot easier than doing like the traditional like stick movement input to do that. And it might even be faster. And if he did get that ledge trump, he would have gotten that kill. But now, Terry with Go, and you're at such a high percent. Okay, that was a good kill though. Alright, you know what? I was wrong. You know, maybe Town and City, not bad choice. Yeah, Toon Link forward air is very, very strong, especially on Town and City. And that's something I guess I also didn't consider. Bomb Fair, I mean, that is the Toon Link special, so it's really, you know, you weren't going to be getting a lot earlier kills. Okay, Hello Bastion. I think this is also a good stage for Terry, but I like to bring Terry to the stage because I think it's a good stage for Lucas and Inkling. But it's good specifically because it's like Town and City, but it's a little bit bigger. But it does have a lower ceiling. Plus you have that platform. You have that platform in the middle plus lower ceiling, so you can really get some nice cheese on that stage. But you do have less access to recovery options, although I imagine Spoof chose this stage because she could not go back to Town and City due to DSR. Alright. SpaceMiner gets reset back to ledge. It's always just a little bit scary to ledge trap Toon Link just because drop down Bomb Fair. Well, one thing that Terry kind of does have against that is that down tilt can catch that drop down. I guess if the drop down is timed poorly, but it's honestly pretty hard to time around down tilt. It's kind of more like if you get lucky, you won't get hit by it. So I guess that is one thing that kind of does give Terry a bit of a leg up. Not to mention, I do believe input, like command input, power dunk does go through bomb, but I could be wrong about that. But yeah, SpaceMiner is still maintaining this lead. And it's looking a bit scary for Spoof. And I mean, this could be dead. Like, honestly, okay, I thought, okay, so SpaceMiner messes up the ledge trump again. But I thought we were going to see a 2-frame. I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen that many 2-frames coming from SpaceMiner. But that could also be a thing that, maybe if this goes to Game 5, that's something that he's saving up. Because that is definitely the type of thing that SpaceMiner would do. Still, SpaceMiner's going to want to find this kill pretty soon because now SpaceMiner's at kill percent for like maybe jab, crap, I can't remember. Jab, Buster Wolf. So, you know, like, yeah, this is really scary. Like, this is kill percent, guys. Oh, that's dead. That's not dead. That was really good SGI from SpaceMiner. But again, like now even regular things are going to kill that aren't command inputs. Like one more power dunk, definitely going to kill. Rising tackle, yeah, that's just dead. So you know what? I did say I think ledge trapping Toon Link can be a little bit scary, but for Terry, I actually think it's not, and it's definitely an opportunity to get some of these kills. And you know, oh, that's dead. That was really nice. You know, and we did see, like, you know, if you aren't getting kills on Terry quick enough, you are going to lose your stock. You're going to lose your lead. It doesn't really matter. You can get Terry to 999%. If you got Terry to 999%, you probably deserve to lose the game. Because go. Browskers, was that pun intended? Because if it was, I really enjoyed punishing, so. But yeah, Spoof maintaining a bit of a lead. This is definitely really, really good because imagine, like, even if, you know, she can't get a kill right now, if she does get to 100%, now SpaceMiner's really already at kill percent. So SpaceMiner's at super kill percent while Spoof has go. That definitely would have killed if not for bomb. Yeah, this is very scary positioning to be in. But here's the thing. I don't really feel like we've gotten to see it too much, but if SpaceMiner just gets Spoof off stage, well, okay. I was gonna say if SpaceMiner just gets Spoof off stage, can easily get like